tuned in, please take the time to replay it back and listen to the freestyle that the Holy Spirit. I'm not even going to take credit for it like a lot of artists would. I'm giving it up to the Holy Spirit because I didn't feel like mic check, mic check. All right, we're still there. Okay. Like I said, we're going to be going over 5 topics tonight that is wrong with this generation, and as well as a little bit off my heart. Forgive me if there was a little glitch there because it wasn't really catching up my voice, but that's okay. We, as a generation, have been so spoiled. I mean, I know how it feels to go without my phone for 2 days. And I felt like I was going to go crazy. I felt like I was driven into insanity. And it's because it's almost a necessity to have a cell phone. Because we have to stay in contact with, work, people that are in our circle, a lot of, there's a lot of great apps. Don't get me wrong, technology is a great tool if it is used right. But the first topic I'm really going to go over tonight is happiness means being rich. And yes, I took a second to pause because I wanted you to really let that sink in without me continuing to chew off your ear. Happiness means being rich. That's what this generation is all about. And that's not only this generation, that's generations, decades and decades. From probably the start of time, really. It's all about what you have. It's all about what you possess. It's all about material things. And I'm here to tell you, and the Holy Spirit's here to tell you too, that those things that you cherish so much, that you hold on to more than you even care about the people in your life, will eventually rust and they will eventually evaporate. Eventually it will disappear. And I know that probably breaks your heart. A lot of people that may be listening, and forgive me a little bit if I'm a little rude, a little blunt, but I'm very passionate about this right now. I feel as if this generation really needs to hear this, but the thing about it is, my girlfriend brought it up too the other day. They won't care, but you can make a difference. You can share this episode right now. If you are listening, you can share it and you can let people know that the Young Casper Show is for real. And there's a lot of great things that are going to be in store for this show. And the network too as well. The RFN Radio. Shout out to everyone that's a part of RFN Radio. We are definitely moving in the right direction. It has been a little slow paced, but I do see it picking up again. And I believe we're having our peak season once again. I remember when I first joined, I was getting a lot of plays, and people were really, their lives were being changed. And a lot of that being demolished is a little bit of my fault as well. And I'm not afraid to admit that because, I backslid. I backslid a lot. I would go out, party, drink, and the show was one thing that was just in the back of my mind. I always did it, but I always, I wasn't as passionate about it a year ago. But as time has drifted away, really, it's gone so fast. This is episode 124, and all the other songs and things that I've uploaded being a total of 260 or 270 really now, different songs and episodes, and I've come a long way. And this is only the beginning. That's the greatest thing. A lot of people Happiness, we lost a little connection again, but happiness is about, like I stated, material things. And we're so brainwashed by the radio. We're so brainwashed by TV. And, you know, a lot of people out there don't know that they're brainwashed, but they're just a part of the chaos. They're a part of it, and they actually enjoy it. They enjoy being, you know, just crazy in the things that they do. Now, I know a lot of us are crazy. I think everyone's crazy in a certain way. Everyone's kind of weird in a certain way. But at the same time, everybody has that I've definitely been praying about. Like I said, I've been overlapping. I didn't see the connection being missed. But in the future, we won't have this problem because I will have my own studio and we will be able to do better quality live episodes. This is right off my phone, and you can do this as well. Speaker.com. Start your own podcast if you like talking, which sometimes I feel like when I'm talking to people, I talk too much. But what's wrong with that, right? And this is my radio show, and Jesus' radio show, and the Holy Spirit's radio show. So we're going to go down to number 2 with what's wrong with this generation. People are communicating through phone and not as much in person. Now, how true is that? I'll give you an example. I take the bus to work and I take the bus home. And I observe people sometimes when I am not on my phone. See, this is what I'm saying. I'm in the whole eye of the storm as well when it comes to these phones. I would sit there and look around a little bit. Just about 90% of the time when I'm on the bus, everybody around me is on their phone. And I encourage you to do this as well, either if you drive or if you don't drive. But look around when you're at a stoplight sometimes at people. They're on their phones. They're doing something on their phone. They're texting, checking a message on Facebook, looking at Instagram, Twitter, this and that. But for me, I'm using Facebook, Twitter, Instagram for God's purpose. Now, has it always been like that? No. I would post a lot of sports things. I would post a lot of, a lot of venting. And everybody's doing that nowadays. They're venting on Facebook like there's no tomorrow. But back to the point. We're losing the principle of being able to be around people more and communicating more with them in person instead of on the phone. Because it's so much easier to, while you're multitasking, pick up your phone and call somebody and say, hey, how's it going? And, it's all good and dandy, but because you can hear their voice and they can hear your voice. But at the same time, there's no better way of showing, not necessarily just affection to your significant other, but in friendships that you can talk and look eye to eye and be able to really communicate and not multitask. And I believe we lost that. I know that when even in my party days, really heavy partying, I wasn't on my phone that much. And I know I'm not trying to say that partying was good, but I'm saying when I was around friends at the time that I felt comfortable being around, we were always doing stuff. We would either be playing basketball, we would either be, going to a friend's house, hanging out, talking, laughing, freestyling, cracking jokes. I mean, the list goes on. But nowadays, it's we don't make time for nobody. We just think about ourselves. And I'm a victim of that as well. But listen to this. We're going to move down to 3. And then we're going to take a slight break. Well, no, let's finish this out. And then we'll take a slight break and then we'll do a couple Bible verses. But number 3, which should be number 1. God is being pushed out of society. Let me repeat that. God is being pushed out of society. And not only God, but Jesus and the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit as well. Because I hear a lot of people talking negativity about Jesus and, oh, there's no God, there's no this and that, and that's all fine. That's your choice to believe that. I'm not judging nobody if you don't believe, because at once I didn't believe either. But God has shown so much love and has done so much for me that I've taken even for granted at times. But God, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit has definitely been left out. But it's being pushed out of society. For example, a post about something that is negative or something that has to do on the borderline of obsessive shopping or whatever, like, or a picture of a girl that's inappropriately dressed or a guy showing off his muscles. It's all about the image. It's all about, the example is, what I'm trying to get to is, think about how many likes they get. How many hearts they get, because Facebook, you can do that now, and Twitter, they've been had that, where you can push the heart and show them that you appreciate that. How many likes, and I kind of encourage you to do this, how many likes, and I've witnessed this because I've posted something on the borderline of just basketball or something funny or whatever, and it gets so many likes, you know? But when we talk about God on Facebook, when we talk about Jesus on Facebook and all the other social media outlets, it doesn't get too many likes. It doesn't get too many comments. It doesn't get barely anything. If anything, it gets strolled through. And people are afraid, and this is what I really need to get off my heart. A lot of people are afraid to come to God because they're ashamed of what they've done. They're ashamed of the people that they're around. They're ashamed that somebody will look at them different just because they believe in God. They believe there's a God. You know, and it's really simple when you really think about it. Sit down and go outside somewhere where you can see the sky, or where you can see a lot of things happening, like a busy city, and just think about it. And even talk to God about it, even if you have the courage to do that. And just ask God if He's real. As much as He tests us, test Him. Test Him. Excuse me, somebody's messaging me. It's one of my fellow producers, kind of. He wanted to see if he could be a part of the show. Actually, he said, if I started a label and gave you, I'm just reading exactly what he said. If I started a label and gave you full access to my beats in studio, would you sign a contract with me? I just got that right now. See how God works in mysterious ways? I've been wanting to be in the studio. I've been wanting to stop recording off my phone, but it's been great practice. It's been a great, amazing thing. Let me just get back to him real quick. I'm putting the thumbs up. A good friend of mine, even from high school, like when I was in 9th grade, really positive person, you know. I'm actually going to see if he can join in real quick. So let's see. We're getting a little sidetracked, but that's okay. This is something that's very important to me and important to, you know, representing God, because this is a man of faith as well. I said join in chat. So we talked about happiness means being rich, people communicating through phone and not as much in person, and God is being pushed out of society, out of social media, out of everything. You know, and it's funny how a lot of people are chasing money and they're chasing financial status. You know, when you look at that dollar bill, what does it really say? In God we trust. A lot of people that are carrying that money around, they stupid. I'm going to say stupid. You know, it's just not right. It's just not right. It's just not right. Kids, this is number 4. Kids aren't being kids. And I'm going to explain this one very well for you, because we do have a problem with kids being obese nowadays or not being as active. And the difference between then and